Lindsey McCoy. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Plaine Products, and today we are going to talk about price. We're going to talk about why Plaine Products cost what they cost, what factors influence that, and how it may change in the future. First, let me tell you a little bit about Plaine Products, why we're unique, and how our circular model works. If you're familiar with all that, you can skip ahead and we'll get into it. Plaine Products is here to provide an easy, convenient solution to plastic waste in the bathroom. We offer premium personal care products in refillable, reusable aluminum bottles that can be returned to us to be refilled and reused. Here's how it works. Come to the website, order a product, shows up at your house with a pump. Put the pump on, then when you're low, order a refill bottle or subscribe and we'll send it automatically with a return label. Switch the pump over to the refill. The empty bottle goes in the refill box and put the return label on the outside. Comes back to us for free. We wash, refill, and reuse them. No waste. It's just that easy. Plastic, while unfortunately only about 10% is recycled, even when it is, can only be recycled once or twice before it ends up in the waste stream or worse, in our environment. And the great thing about aluminum, it's endlessly recyclable. So these bottles never need to end up in the waste stream. So let's get into cost. There are 4 different factors that affect why we charge what we do. And the first one is ingredients. If you look at the back of your average shampoo, conditioner, or personal care product, usually the first ingredient you're going to see is water. And then it's going to be followed by a lot of very long with a lot of consonant words like sodium lauryl sulfate, PEG, parabens, all sorts of chemicals that are designed to make your hair feel clean, to lather, to make you feel like it's doing stuff. Those sodium lauryl sulfates are actually detergents, which are really harsh. There's parabens, PEGs, phthalates, which are actually plastics, all of which are incredibly cheap. So that is why they can put water and chemicals in a bottle and charge $4. If you look at our ingredient list, the first ingredient that you'll see is aloe. And then you'll see a lot of other words, some of which actually do look a little bit like chemicals because we have to use the scientific names, but they are all plant-based ingredients. If you look up any of them, they come from nature. So we use things like bamboo silk, we use seaweed, lots of oils and extracts, all to get your hair clean, to condition, to nourish your hair and skin. But there are no toxic chemicals in any of our products. But that's more expensive. The second thing is the packaging. So as you may know, plastic is actually made from fossil fuels. It's a byproduct. When they change those fossil fuels into gasoline and other products, they're able to make plastic from the remnants. So again, incredibly cheap. They're already making money on the main product, so they are making bonus money on the plastic so they can sell it very cheaply. So if you put water and chemicals in a plastic bottle, I mean, there's no way we can compete with that. So we pay more for our bottles. The third factor, we take responsibility for our packaging. So we actually pay to have you ship these back to us so we can wash and reuse them. Now we think it's worth it for our circular process to make sure that this bottle never needs to get thrown away, that we can reuse it as many times as possible before we do recycle it. And there's a few things to point out there. One is obviously linear economy, pull something out of the ground, make something out of it, throw it away. That's using tons of energy and tons of resources for something that's going to be used once. Recycling, there is some energy that goes into that. Less than making it the first time, but still energy that goes into melting it down and reforming it. Reuse, we're just washing this bottle and we're washing 50 other bottles at the same time. So reuse is less energy, it's more economical, and it's a better use of these resources, which is why we spend the money to get them back. The fourth element is that shipping. So it costs a lot of money to ship a heavier bottle full of product and even empty around the country. And this is one thing that we do hope will change. The goal is, as we grow, that we could actually have washing stations that lots of different companies are using around the country. So that way, instead of shipping 1 or 2 bottles back to us to be washed, reused, they could just go somewhere locally and be washed. And then we could gather them all up. Shipping is much more efficient and effective if you're doing it in bulk, lots at one time. So that is one price factor, which we really hope will drop as more people embrace the circular economy and as more companies move towards this model. There is going to be support for building infrastructure. If you look at solar, that's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. 10, 20 years ago, solar was incredibly expensive, but now it's the cheapest form of electricity. Why? Because a lot of forward-thinking people supported it, because people spent money on infrastructure for it, manufacturing capacity went up, the cost of building it went down, and now it's being used around the world. So that is the same thing that we are hoping will happen with reuse. More companies, more people using it, all of a sudden you see a motivation for people to start building washing facilities, more jobs are being created, and we can build an infrastructure of reuse. So every time you buy one of our bottles, that's what you're voting for, is a different way of buying, moving away from the linear economy to a circular one. If you want to see more videos about the circular economy or ways to have less plastic in your life, please like and subscribe down below. And if you have some suggestions for other companies you'd like to see go circular, we'd love to hear about it in the comments. Thank you.